Today we are going to speak about Filipino maids and how they're discriminated, their lack of rights, and their immigration situation, currently and in the past.
More than 50% of the Filipino maids reported that they never get a single day off from their tough work.
The Filipino maids lived in such tough conditions. They have very limited rights. They aren't even allowed to own property in the country. An average maid earns only $5 a day. Some earn less, depending on their owner. Also, there's a lot of physical abuse towards the maids in the countries.
The maids have to obey every single command their employer states, or they will get fired.
In some countries, Filipinos maids were not allowed to enter the country because people thought that they would take over their government and ruin it, just like the Italians in the Industrial Revolution.
The Hong Kong court ruled that maids should not be treated as ordinarily residents.
Maids who immigrate are not allowed to bring their spouses. They're also not allowed to marry a different race, and they're also not allowed to vote.
The Filipino maids are not allowed to be normal. They are treated very differently from normal citizens.
The Filipino maids are not allowed to apply for a residence.
Filipino maids use illegal agents to get to the countries, and sometimes the agents would cheat them. The Filipino maids are much like the kids that fell victim to the padrone system.
A padrone is someone who takes kids to America with their own money, then keeps them and makes them work until they pay back their fare.
The padrone's kids, who were Italian, could not work a normal job because Italians were discriminated in America, especially kids. They had to beg in harsh conditions and come home early to the padrone. If they didn't make enough money for the day, commonly 60 to 80 cents, they sometimes got abused and had to make more money the next day. The kids left Italy alone without parents because they thought that they could have a better life in America and they could send back money to their poor parents. Plus, one ticket was cheaper than, for example, 4.
The kids were not seen as normal citizens. They were entitled to almost no laws, much like the Filipino maids.
Sometimes the kids got cheated by their padrones, just like how the Filipino maids get cheated by their agents. You can conclude from this that Filipino maids were treated really harshly as they were discriminated and they had very poor rights. Not many people know about these topics, so please raise awareness.